Hey guys, let's do this again. Alright, but in all serious, hey guys, welcome back to the second episode of Raunchy Reviews, and if you noticed, I've cut my hair,
This dude finally got a haircut after like 2 years.
if I have a picture, I'll throw it up like somewhere around here. Yes, that's what I looked like before. So the next movie that we watched was Batman Gotham Knight. Let's just get into this review. So the first thing we're going to cover is the characters. Pretty much the main character in this is Batman, and the voice actor is Kevin Conroy, and it's really nice that they stay consistent with it, and he's the same voice actor for Batman throughout every story that they did.
I think he's also just a good voice actor for Batman.
And I think other people have said this, but he's definitive voice actor for Batman, and for some people, definitive Batman. I think one of the standout characters that I saw was the character in I think it was like the Crossfire episode. I think it's Maroni. I don't know, his voice just sounded crazy to me.
Oh, the one, yeah.
We had like the chick up to the head, and he just sounded crazy.
The chick with the gun to the head, yeah.
Yeah. So the plot of this story is Batman is pretty much, it's like Batman year one, or pretty much, where he's like becoming Batman, and he's like starting out getting all of his gear ready, all that stuff, to become Dark Knight. And
even though in one he has a shield.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about it. There is 6 loosely connected stories that this whole thing is, so it's like a big chronicalization, I guess. So I'll list off all the names of them. So the first one is I've Got a Story for You. The next one's Crossfire. After that, it's Field Test. There's In Darkness Dwells, Working Through Pain, and then Deadshot. The first one, I've Got a Story for You, is told through the perspective of kids, and it's like all their different interpretations.
The first one with the kids was the most memorable to me because it was like, it was interesting to see how they all had different perspectives on him. But then, of course, at the end, the actual Batman comes in, and he was different than all of what the kids said.
Oh, yeah. The real Batman was like nothing like what they interpreted him as, which is really cool. So the next one after that was Crossfire, and that one is told from the perspective of 2 cops, which one who doesn't really like Batman, and the other one believing in his cause, which is, I think it's really cool. And by the end, the cop who doesn't believe in him starts kind of believing in his cause too. And this one also has listen, I know there's some beefy Batmans like the Dark Knight Returns, but this one,
yeah, he's like 3 feet wide.
Dude, he's so wide and just enormously tall, and it's awesome. And he has a little spindly bat thing connecting his cape. Oh, and one thing that I thought was cool about that was, there's a really cool part where he walks through fire, and it's just like,
yeah, that was
whoa.
a pretty cool shot.
It's like, wait, that it makes no sense, but it's like that's so cool to see. So the next one after that is Field Test, and this is the one where he actually starts where he actually goes to Lucius Fox, wanting tech and stuff, and he shows him this one device that can deflect bullets. Which it sounds crazy, but when you put it into this anime style, it's really cool.
It's pretty freaking unrealistic because they just shoot bullets at him, and then they just deflect 6 inches off his body.
Yeah, and then one deflects off a guy, and then he has to take him to the hospital. So
yeah, and then but in a later one, so this is why they're all so loosely connected. In a later episode or scene, I guess, he just takes a bullet, just straight up. He just gets shot, and I guess he forgot the freaking.
Well, at the end of Field Test, he's like, if I'm doing this, I'm putting my life on the line and no one else's, and that's why he's like, I'll take a bullet if I have to. It's like I'll freaking do it. I'll take the bullet.
What a nerd.
So the next one after that is In Darkness Dwells, which I think has the weirdest kind of style of all of them, but I think it's one of my favorite stories.
I don't really remember that one too well.
That's the one that has Scarecrow and Killer Croc. Which, honestly, I think Killer Croc's really cool. And it's honestly just a really cool interpretation of them.
Yeah, it's weird how Killer Croc was a real human just with the deformity, but he literally just looks like a monster. Like, they just mentioned how he's like, he filed his teeth down, but he literally, he's like a 8-foot tall monster. Nothing like in the Suicide Squad.
So after that, there's Working Through Pain, which I don't think is like the worst one, because I think there's a really good story in it. It's just, it doesn't have as much action, because it's like, it's Batman, and it's not harsh, but it's like...
Wait, this is like the one with the girl, right?
Yeah, this is the one where he's like talking to that chick, and he has that battle with the people.
With the kids.
With the kids or whatever.
Beats up some kids.
He beats up some kids from another country. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a cool... I think a really cool scene in it, though, is the scene where he's like, just beaten as Batman. He's like a bullet... he's like shot in the... or like on the side right here. And just, he's like digging through trash, finding guns, which is like... It's like, wait a minute. How many people just throw their guns in there? Like,
dude,
how did they...
A lot of people just toss their guns.
Yeah, I guess it's Gotham City, you know. After that, there is Deadshot, which is the final one where he's pretty much like almost full Bat. I guess like fully, not in his prime, but he's like, yeah, I'm like fully Batman now.
I would agree with that.
They're all sort of loosely connected, as I said, but like there's like things that connect them all. Like there's like a PDA or like something like that, or like some sort of device that...
PDA?
Yeah, there's like a device that Batman takes in field test from when he's golfing or whatever in a scene. He takes it from some other dude, and then it comes back or later in the Deadshot. I know, it's weird. I've watched it just so many times that I know this stuff.
A PDA?
I don't know if it's a PDA. Listen, I probably said it wrong. That's why I said a device.
It's not a PDA.
But yeah, I think there's a really good fight between Batman and Deadshot.
Yeah, this is the one where he takes a bullet. He should have had the shield.
But I mean, he's like, screw it, I'll beat him anyways.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird how he just like teleports. Just teleports to the other side of the train.
You wanna know why?
He's Batman?
He's Batman. So, for the filmmaking aspects, we don't really have much to say exactly. I mean, it was all the animation, like the frame rates or whatever, it looked good. The voice acting, was really good, and that's part of the filmmaking.
Animation styles were all interesting, and they were not really like bad in any ways. I mean, some were like more gruesome and more detailed than others, though, which was...
Yeah, they were all stylized in their own ways, which was really cool. The score, I don't know if you really remember a lot of the score. I think it's good throughout all of it. But there's like I think a standout song for me is the one where it's actually in Working Through Pain. I think he's like trying to climb up something and just like falls really far down into the sewers, and it's just really sad music. It's like, ooh, just like this man's hurt, and it's like, ooh,
this dude should get better.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, so I think the filmmaking is all pretty good in that aspect. I believe David Goyer, or not, I don't know if he might have written some of these. Yeah, I guess that's one way that this is also connected with the Dark Knight trilogy, which I don't know if I said that, but it's loosely also connected with that. But could be put in any continuity, which is weird. But I mean, I guess that's the charm of it too.
I mean, I don't think it could be put in any continuity. Like, I don't think this is Adam West's Batman.
Well, of course.
We don't see Cesar Romero in this.
Fair enough. Hoyer. You want to hear some cool facts?
No.
So, something...
I told you no. Not go for it, Bryce. I know you we'll do it anyways.
So Kevin Conroy said, I believe in one of the commentaries, that usually they record their voices and then do the animation, but in this, they did the animation and then they recorded their voices, so they had to match their voices to the animation, which is like kind of interesting to note.
Yeah, that'd be a weird way to have to film around.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like doing any sort of kind of lip syncing is weird at all. So my final thoughts on this is I think definitely one of the better animated Batman movies. It's up there with some of my favorites, The Dark Knight Returns, Mask of the Phantasm. In that regard, this definitely I think deserves a watch. Even if you don't want to watch all of them, I would at least suggest that you watch In Darkness It Dwells, which is the Scarecrow Killer Croc introduction one, which has a weird cool style of animation. And I prefer it. And it's not a long watch either, so you can watch it in chunks too because they're all separate stories, which is awesome.
My thoughts were, I wasn't the biggest fan of this movie, honestly. I didn't like how the stories were so, like, distant and how it almost didn't seem to focus on Batman the entire time, but it would focus on him some of the time. I feel like you should almost just have one main character in the story and not be bouncing around. But then again, I did like the first story where the kids were all just going over their own interpretations of Batman in that universe. But other than that, I don't think I have much else to say.
So what would you give this out of 5 stars?
I don't know, probably like 2.
Give it 2. He gives it 2 out of 5 stars. It's one of the better ones in my book. I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5 stars.
All right. So, in between would be 3. Bryce says 4 though. So.
Yeah. So that's the end of this episode of Raunchy Reviews. I'm not sure what we're gonna be doing next time for Raunchy Reviews, but if you have anything you want us to review, leave it down in the comments below. And if you have anything else you want to leave down in the comments below, put it down there. Remember to like the video if you liked it, or disliked if you didn't. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, because that subscribe button will be waiting for everyone. And I think that's it.
All right.
So I think we're out of here.
See y'all later.
Deuces. All right, 3.
You're going to need to go back in the bathroom in another 15 minutes.
Oh, God.
Fuck you.